interesting, the bit that we are putting in there is a brake monitoring system, which actively monitors brake force distribution, and that can, and the people at Accent, you need to speak to Tim Steer because he's got a good story to tell you, that that can actually do away with having to do rolling road brake tests for the trailer, because it's giving an active it's giving an active monitor in service for the brakes, and it's then flagging exception reporting on the brakes.
So that's something we're looking at, John, is it, for the future?
We're trialling it at the moment. We are trialling it, and we've been trialling it for quite a while now. I think there's a paper that Tim Steer from Accent has had written with DVSA that I think it almost is giving it sort of the tick to say that it can replace a rolling brake test if it's actively managed and properly backed up.
I'm sure DVSA will welcome that, because they put out a release recently saying that brakes are still the major cause of PG nights. That's quite worrying, isn't it?
And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
No. In terms of compliance, not just with your own sort of views on safety, but there's things like FORS and clocks and stuff like that now. How many of your customers are coming to you saying, I need FORS compliance, I don't really understand FORS, I don't get it? And is that something your customers are asking for?
Well, quite a lot of customers do ask for FORS. Quite a lot of customers are asking for FORS. It's typical haulage mentality of, they want it because they might need it. And that day might come when they get that magic backload from wherever that never ever happens. But, they are asking for it. And, all of our fleet, really, at the drop of a hat, we can make FORS compliant. And there's a lot of stuff out on the road now which is FORS compliant. It will have gone out to the initial operator, whoever it was. It actually, technically, it's only FORS compliant while it's with a FORS operator. Because as soon as it comes back from that operator, it's not.
But there are certain bits of kit have to be on.
Absolutely, which is which we have on them, and we've gone into sort of quite a lot of our standard fitting meets a good length of what's required for FORS, and to take that extra step, it's very minor sort of additions to the vehicles.
So would you supply vehicles with camera systems, for example, cyclist sensor systems? Is that something you can
do? We do all of that, and you look at our contract costings and the vehicles that we're specifying and putting on the road. I mean, the amount of additional extras that come in terms of the safety systems, every vehicle more or less that we're putting on the road is having some form of extra safety related or camera or whatever. That's something we've been. We'd dearly like to be able to fit a camera system to the trucks, and we're looking actually at probably bringing that in this year. But you try standardising on something like that, because every operator's got a different system. It's like the near-side proximity piece, and again, we have a system, and that doesn't really work for one of the supermarkets, but it works for another one, and unfortunately, women engineers with their sort of specifics getting in the way of things a little bit here. But
I mean, that's always an argument that the OEMs come up with, saying, because people complain about they've got to drill holes in a brand new truck to make it compliant to go into London, and they're saying, well, surely we could buy one off the shelf, but when you're talking about a few hundred vehicles, it's difficult enough for you, but it's impossible for an OEM to do it.
Well, but then, you're quite surprised at what you can get off the shelf from them, and then, so, again, really, it's probably a case of them having a bit more intent to get these things done, isn't it? But a lot of these things are probably left away, and maybe cynically think that they are dealer afterfit for dealer to take some more margin out of what is a very thin slice of margin he gets from handing that truck over.
And direct vision, what are you doing about direct vision?
We're going down
that one alone for the time being.
I'd love to know what to do about direct vision. Is the truth behind that? And
I think I should just leave that one for the time.
If we will have to do whatever we have to do. Of course we will. But what we'd like to know is what direct vision stands for, because we had one interpretation that seems to have disappeared. Another one seems to be sort of waiting in the wings. Will we all be driving around in bin lorry-esque trucks in years to come? I really don't know. I understand that the manufacturers, quite a few of the manufacturers are working on replacing mirrors with cameras and systems like this, which, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And it'll help with aerodynamics as well. So, wait and see. But standard measure for direct vision, and someone to actually tell us what direct vision is would be useful.
Yes.
Definitely useful.
Are you getting much interest from non-bin lorry applications for an iconic style, iconic cabs?
Well, we get involved in it, and we've got involved in it ourselves for probably exactly the same reason these other people do, which is probably to have a little bit of PR and a bit of sort of an edge on it. You don't see many people using it as a mainstream application.
Well, the reason I ask is the front page of Motor Transport, which I proved yesterday, is Travis Perkins have got
the keyline ones. Yeah,
got some iconic cabs now delivering bricks.
Right, but how many?
One, as far as I know.
Well, exactly. And there's
But they got on the bloody front page of the
Motor
Motor Transport.
That's the point.
But there you are. But that's it. I mean, everybody wants the headline grabber, and everybody wants the trophy truck. But really, nobody can afford to run that. And if that is the answer, I don't know what the freaking question was, because that's it doesn't seem a logical sort of. That is a real sledgehammer to crack a nut if ever there was one.
Yeah.
But it's what else have they got? And in the absence of anything else, I guess that's what they've come up with, and it's just a modification of an existing platform. But if you were to build a truck now from scratch, knowing what you know about direct vision, and I look at the Scania, the new Scania that's coming forward, and the Volvo that's out there existing, you're probably going to end up looking something like that. And I think that's going to be a nearer and a more logical view to how these will be taken. But, yeah.
I mean, the thing about direct vision, I always tell this tale because the previous head of TfL used to be a bus driver. I can't remember his name now. Whatever his name.
Yeah. Peter somebody.
Peter something.
Yeah.
But I was up in London. I was walking at Whitehall towards Piccadilly Circus, or Trafalgar Square rather, and there was a bus coming down Shaftesbury Avenue, turning left to come down Whitehall, and he was about 3 feet from the curb, making his left, and as he cut the corner slightly, he cut in, and this cyclist just tried to get up the inside of him. Yeah. And if there had been railings there, the guy had been crushed. Yeah. Luckily, there weren't any railings, and he just sort of fell off to the side. But
what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, but the point is, the bus has got the best direct vision possible. It's got bloody doors.
Yeah, it's true.
So it wasn't for the lack of vision. It's just that if you're turning a big vehicle, once you committed to the turn, some guy shoots up the inside of you. And there's nothing you can do.
No, and I think the other thing as well, you've committed to that turn, you're not just looking at what's happening in your near side, you've got to be looking forward. Merging into traffic, you're looking forward, you're looking all over the place, aren't you?
Once you've decided it's clear and you're making a turn, you can't keep watching that mirror because you're going to run over some poor sod who's running across in front of you.
Right. But is this the unmentionable PC element now that we're not allowed to say that cyclists need training? And other road users need training as well as, I know car drivers, I know bus drivers, I know truck drivers have got to make allowances for the vulnerable road users.
But if you do something bloody stupid, you put your own head in the noose.
How many you see with the cans on or the earpods in, they've no idea, they're oblivious to what's going on around them.
When you see tourists wobbling around London on the bloody Boris bikes, it's a miracle there aren't 10 killed every single day and around every year, because they are suicidal maniacs, so I think 10 or 12 a year is actually we're getting away lightly. Personally.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
But you can't say
you're
that.
Right.
You can't.
You are right.
No, you can't.
Let it be incorrect.
Well, Will says it all the time, but
yes.
Yeah.
He drinks too much, that bloke, I'll tell you.
Well, it's because he's been in a bike. He's got a bike.
He's coming from a cyclist background, isn't he, at least? But
no, he's not. But
he's not.
A lot of it's made up. He did do the Transurb bike ride, to be fair to him. But he doesn't ride a bike in London.
Well, who would?
Yeah. Well, I have. I mean, I used to commute from Croydon to London Bridge on a bike.
Did you?
Yeah.
I told you he was.
It's a fair old schlep that on his own, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Bricks and Hill's a killer. Apart from that, it's just all right.
Sorry, I thought I didn't disturb already, but. Yeah, these are the challenges that the operators face, aren't they? And you read every day something sillier has happened. We had we had a truck that was involved in a fatality where a guy had hopped a railing, running, and straight under the truck. And I put yourself in the driver's position.
I was going to say it's the impact on the driver.
What can he do about that?
Absolutely nothing.
No, nothing. Well, I mean, there are pedestrian detection systems coming onto the market slowly, aren't they? But we're a long way from...
pedestrian education systems that you need in place for people.
Yeah, that's...
physically incorrect.
But I think the automatic emergency braking system, I mean, that